You will get everything when you understand it. Why is it important to watch this video? After watching this video, you will understand how to achieve your goals much faster and easier, and you will not spend years of your life on it. I arrived at this point due to my extensive business experience and the numerous challenges I have encountered throughout my life, which have provided me with valuable insights and knowledge. Now, I will tell you a few secrets that are very important to know in order to achieve any of your goals. If you possess this knowledge, I can guarantee you that you will expend a significantly lesser amount of effort and achieve your goals in a much faster time frame. The main problem of all people is that when they want something, they set goals. After they set goals, some plan, some do not plan, but they immediately start acting. Well, there is, of course, a group of people who don't take action and thus they never achieve anything. The thing is, I've witnessed many people who they attain their goals even without realizing or knowing how to do it. However, I've never seen people who knew how to do it but didn't and still achieved success. That is, action is the most important condition for achieving any goal. All people live in a paradigm that if you want something, you must do something. But the problem is that you don't live in a vacuum. You live in a world, a dynamic world that changes every day. There are many others around you, each with their own interests, desires, and wishes, separate from yours. I have a concept of movement on this matter, which I named in order to facilitate understanding. What is it composed of? The thing is, when you are in this world, you have an influence on this world. What is it manifested in? For instance, let's say you're sitting on a couch currently. Sitting on the couch, you exert pressure, compress it, and take someone's place, and someone may like or dislike it. Even if you do nothing, you still have an impact on this world. Your impact on this world automatically triggers tremors of change. The first is resistance. These are forces that are directly opposed to your action. In my perspective, this is the second or third law of Newton. Any directed force is opposed by an equally directed force of the same magnitude, according to my understanding. Even physics confirms this. Therefore, any impact you have on this world triggers a force of resistance. This is the first force. Any action or influence you have on this world generates a force of assistance. These are the forces that assist you. Well, let's take it this way. For example, just to make it clear, you are going to the movies with friends. It might transpire that the spouse will be opposed. She has the ability to express, "No, let's dine with acquaintances or relatives this evening." In this instance, you have invoked the strength of opposition. At the same time, you may have support. Kids can shout, "Hooray! Hooray, Dad! Let's go to cinema!" Cool idea. Thus, you have the power of cooperation. And there is a third force, the force of interaction. She is generally unbiased. For instance, these could be your parents, who are smiling while they watch you discussing where to go. When going towards your goal, you must consider these forces: resistance, assistance, and interaction. And there will always exist forces of resistance, regardless of your actions. The forces of assistance will always be there. The main struggle always revolves around pulling the force of interaction or neutral force to one side. In this case or example that I provided you with, if you are able to persuade your parents to back you, will your spouse be willing to acknowledge and agree with your choice? So, every time you establish goals for yourself, consider these three forces, which always manifest themselves when you set or desire to achieve something significant in your life or career. Or let's take another example. The thing is, I get a lot of young entrepreneurs coming to me, especially startuppers in the IT field, and they ask me for investments. Every time they ask me for investments, they show me charts where here they had such and such growth, then here I invest and their growth starts like this. I always laugh and say, why should growth come after me? You can't make it so that there is growth before me. To make you go like this, start growing like this, then I'll invest. What they also laugh, they say, no, we'll use your money. We'll spend on marketing, we'll lower the price, we'll outperform competitors, and so on and so forth. And in such instances, I must say, I can feel it in my skin that at the same time your competitors are somewhere else with other investors and telling the exact same thing. And because all of you want to do it, it becomes crucial to stay ahead in the game. As a result, your efforts simply cancel each other out. And this happens because you do not take into account the actions of external forces. You think you live in a vacuum. Therefore, in order not to waste energy in vain, you must clearly understand when you plan something, what forces of resistance there will be, what forces of assistance there will be, and what forces of interaction you must pull to your side. Therefore, it is of utmost importance to always take into account these three forces when setting a goal and prior to commencing any movement towards it. When striving or moving towards a goal, the second crucial aspect is to carefully consider external forces, factors, and influences that may impact the outcome. Unfortunately, many people do not take this factor into account, and this is probably the most important thing in achieving goals. Let's imagine a scenario where you are swimming in a river. One person is rowing against the current, working tirelessly day and night, 24/7.
The other isn't rowing, but he got up on the wrong current, carried away in a different direction. And the third one, you sit in the boat and row only when it's necessary to catch the right current and make sure you're in sync with its flow. So, if you take it, you will see his entire path leading him towards his ultimate goal. What is the duration of his work? Generally, he works for a maximum of 20% of the total time. 80% of the time or 80% of the energy spent on achieving the goal is consumed by external forces. He uses external forces. He uses not his own strength but the forces that help him or the forces of assistance. Hence, it is of utmost importance to remember this and make use of it while progressing towards your desired goal. Or let's take another example. Let's take an example with fishing. For example, one fisherman cast his fishing rod and sits there just fishing for luck.
Another angler arrived, casted 5 fishing rods with different baits, and so on and so forth. He has greater chances, and the third fisherman examined everything, weather, pressure. He clearly comprehends what fish he is fishing for. He knows which bait this fish prefers. He reached the pond with abundant fish. Who has a better chance? Without a doubt, it is the third person. Why? Because he arrived, he is progressing towards his objective, considering external conditions. For him, his work is influenced by external circumstances at least 80%. What is he doing? He takes the rod, the bait, puts it on correctly, throws it, and sits waiting. All the rest is done by external forces. Therefore, it is impossible to move towards the goal without taking into account external forces and external circumstances. Believe me, you will spend a lot of energy, a lot of strength to overcome external resistance. To come to this, I spent years of my life and made a huge number of mistakes in order to come to these truths. Well, for example, you want to build yourself a country house. What forces of resistance can there be? First of all, you need to start with them because they are visible and easy to see. It depends on where you want to build. If you want to be near a national park or in some environmentally clean area, then it is clear that there will most likely be some eco-activists there who will be against you. These could be some neighbors who don't want someone to build nearby. At the same time, you have the power to assist. Understood, this is your family. These are the city authorities who may have a desire for you to enhance that area and so on and so forth. These individuals have the potential to become employees if you extend an offer to collaborate in constructing a cottage village. Or they can be shareholders who are willing to collaborate with you in the construction, development, and other related endeavors. But at the same time, you have the forces of interaction. It's a bunch of people who look at it neutrally. These can be the same subscribers on social networks where you simply show your project, show the benefits of this project, and try in every way to sway public opinion in your favor. Thanks to the fact that you have the assistance and interaction forces which are prepared to support you and ready to defend this project, it will be more manageable for you to overcome all resistance. Moreover, I'll tell you this, it's from the treatise on the art of war by Sun Tzu. There's a cool phrase there where it says, "A bad general is the one who wins battles." A good general is the one who wins without battles. You must bring to your side such forces that the battle against you becomes meaningless, and the opposing forces simply surrender. Do you know how physicists or scientists I'm unsure, perhaps in the resistance of materials there exists a concept known as a breaking point. When you take metal, you repeatedly bend it and it continues to resist until finally, and everything went smoothly. It is of utmost importance when you make progress towards your goal
to have an ample amount of strength on your side that provides you with this crucial turning point at which your competitors and your enemies or ill-wishers simply prefer not to engage in a confrontation or battle. This is the optimal state of utilizing external forces. And if you rely solely on force, especially when you disregard all these external forces during a confrontation, it becomes highly disadvantageous and counterproductive. It is similar to a squirrel in a wheel. You argue about her throughout the day like the heads of the snake Gorenich. Problems grow and grow and grow. You cut off one head, two new ones grew. Unfortunately, this is what most people do. And the root cause is they started their business without considering external forces. I'm certain that everyone has encountered situations in their life when certain things have happened to them in an instant, and certain things that they consider important, for instance, their work, require constant effort, hard work, struggle, and resilience. It can be incredibly challenging, and you don't understand why this is happening. Unfortunately, I have also had many such cases in my life, and I noticed for myself, when I analyzed all my past experience, I noticed that it was exactly where I took into account external forces. Everything happened easily, playfully, and I even had a sense of such effortless money. However, in reality, they are not effortless. The amount of energy that was spent to earn them was the same, just most of the work was done not by me, but by external forces. And I ask you, please tell in the comments about your stories. It will be very interesting to read. And let's have a discussion about it there. The main objective of my video is to attract your attention and your focus specifically to these particular things. And in order to clearly differentiate them in your life, you require a specific observance, so make sure to read the comments. Look at how it happened to other people, and you will see what forces there are, forces of resistance, and what forces of assistance, and how can you utilize them to your advantage. And now the question arises, how should one act correctly in order to achieve their objectives? So in order to accomplish your objectives, first and foremost, the most important thing you need to do is to establish your intention, or determine your intention. The problem is that many people set a goal for themselves, but do not determine the intention. What is intention? Intention is a declaration to the Most High. Regarding your genuine objectives, see, occasionally when you establish a goal, there is an objective that you announce externally, and there is an objective that you strive for internally. So intention is related to an internal goal, to what you actually desire. Why is intention so crucial and significant in achieving your goals? The point is, when you accomplish any objective, it is highly important to ensure full agreement between your rational mind and your subconscious mind. If there is no agreement between your rational mind and subconscious, the probability of achieving the goal is practically zero, because your subconscious turns into a force of resistance. Remember what I was talking about. These forces of assistance, resistance, and interaction do not occur only in the external world, they also occur within you. Hence, when establishing a goal, ensure to establish your intention, jot down your intention. For example, in my practice, I noticed one thing. I am engaged in an educational platform. I noticed that when our indicators started to decline, I came to the company and told our executive director, look, we need to correct our intention. We have deviated from the path somewhere. Our aim and my aim has always been to educate individuals and earn income through it in order to achieve our goals. But at some point, we started to deviate from the course and started making money from education. And this is completely different. Teaching people and earning money thanks to it is one thing, while earning money from teaching is another thing. Intention is the guiding force that reveals the path your soul is destined to follow in its journey. If your intention is to instruct individuals and generate income from it, then all the fibers of your soul are directed towards education. If your intention is to earn money from education, then all your fibers are focused solely on money. And not a word about people, and accordingly your behavior is formed. Therefore, any action of yours, if it has the wrong intention, believe me, you will not have any repeat purchases, nor regular customers, nor loyal customers, and there will be no customer dissatisfaction either. Therefore, first and foremost, prior to accomplishing any objective, Jot down on a piece of paper what your genuine intention is. First moment, second point. After determining true intention, consider external forces by asking yourself 3 important questions. First inquiry, is this the appropriate moment to undertake it? If we bear in mind the fisherman, then going for lunch is most likely not the best idea to consider. Fish usually bite either in the morning or in the evening, so you need to ask yourself if it is the right time to do it. And this applies not only to fishing, it applies to everything in life. 2. Am I in the correct place for this action? If we return to fishing, then we will be in the right location for that specific activity. The right place is determined by the presence of a water body with fish. Am I in the right place, in a cool place? And the third question you should ask yourself is whether the circumstances are in my favor. If we take the example of fishing, we need to look at the shore of the reservoir, whether there are convenient approaches, how the weather is in your favor or not, the wind and so on, and so on. And in life as well. You can analyze the mood of society, ascertain the direction in which politics is heading in general, and so on and so forth. And taking into account all these circumstances, you will be able to understand whether circumstances are in your favor or not. Thus, once you have established your intention, it is necessary to gain a clear understanding of the direction in which external forces are operating by posing 3 inquiries. Once you have determined the second part, which involves accounting for external forces, it is then time to create a detailed plan of action based on your findings. This plan considers your initial intention, secondly, the consideration of external forces, and thirdly, takes into account your actions and any relevant factors. And following that, kindly proceed, and may fortune favor you. All the life hacks and knowledge that I have obtained from my experience on how to effectively achieve my goals, I generally share in the messaging app Telegram. So click on the link below, and most importantly, do not forget such things that we do not live in a vacuum. We live in a dynamic environment. We live in society. Society is a collection of all people who have their own desires, their own wishes, they have their own goals. They also move towards their goals. And your task is not to fight them, so remember, you don't live in a vacuum. 2. Keep in mind that the most powerful external force in this world is the Almighty. So rectify your intention or state your genuine intention, because you will achieve precisely your genuine intention, not your goals or any other divergent outcomes. Your intentions and goals must align. Consider external forces, as rowing against the current 24/7 is futile without taking them into account. Ensure your intentions and goals coincide for success. And after that, create a plan and proceed. Best of luck to you, and may you have a joyful life.